Know your neighbors. Find out, okay, this neighbor has a barbecue. This neighbor has this. Share your supplies. Get together. If you have, say, like a neighborhood of 10 to 12 homes, you all know each other, you've all got some basic supplies, you can support each other. It makes you safer. It makes you more secure. You're able to help each other out, and you have somebody that can check on you.
Yes.
One thing I really want to stress in the home preparedness for an earthquake is the basic food and water. You don't have to go out and spend $5,000 on dehydrated food or the super MREs or anything like that. When you go to the grocery store every time, take $2 or $3 extra, buy a couple cans of soup, buy a can of tuna, buy a couple jars of peanut butter. Read the expiration labels on your food.
Oh, yeah.
Find the stuff that'll last a year and a half. Buy a couple extra each time. So now, instead of having to spend $1,000 in 1 month, you're spending $15 or $20 a month over a year. You've got your supply kit. You've got all your stuff put in, and you didn't break the bank.
I'm glad you said that. And then also, Mia, too, I was talking to Zach a few minutes before we got on air, talking about the earthquake kit, right? That should be, and fire kit, that should be there all the time. The other thing, too, is I mentioned to him people that are allergic to different things. And I told him, with penicillin and ampicillin. Forget it. I can't take it, right? And I mentioned that people should spend a couple of dollars no matter what they're doing, right? And go down and get one of them medical ID bracelets. And if you're a diabetic or you have heart problems or whatever.
Great idea.
Here's the reason behind that is especially after any type of disaster, or even just day to day, you have a traffic accident, you have something happens where you can't talk, you can't respond, you're unconscious, and our paramedics and our EMS folks get to you. We don't know you have that condition, so maybe we follow standard protocol and we give you a particular drug. We don't know you're allergic to it, but our folks are taught. Go look for the medical alert bracelet or the medical alert necklace, or even down on the ankle where you can wear the bracelet. That does wonders for what we can do for treatment. So if we're coming through a neighborhood after an earthquake and your neighbors come to us and say, hey, Bev over here in her house, she's a diabetic, she has this problem, we're going, okay, and then we find the medical alert bracelet on you, great. We immediately know one of the things we need to start looking at to possibly treat you.
That's a good one.
And you get better, faster care, and it's safer for you.
And even Mia, even with your sons, and there are different allergic reactions to food and everything.
I never even thought about that, but believe it or not, until you just said it. It didn't dawn on me about that. Oh, my goodness.
I think you and I got to go shopping together, darling. And first we got to hit Starbucks before we do this, though, right?
Yes, sounds
got to get that coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know what? Actually, as Zach is saying these things, I'm thinking, okay, if the power went out, what would we do? Okay, I better get a manual can opener, because you don't think about it. Everything's so electronic.
There is actually, you can get them in any local Army surplus. They're about 35 cents, and they literally look like a right-angle fingernail clipper. And it folds up, goes on your keychain, and it's a can opener.
No way.
You fold it open. It's got looks like a little hook on it, and you just press that to the top of your can, and it will manually open your can for you. But you can carry it on your keychain, and they're 35, 40, 50 cents at Army surplus.
I love that.
So unless you're good at losing your keys, you'll always have a can opener.
And also, too, how about them little baby flashlights that they have?
You know what? You can go to any of the local do-it-yourself places, any of the big box retailers. Everybody's got those little inexpensive $1 and $2 LED flashlights. Buy 4 or 5 of them. Put one in every room in the house.
And another good thing, too, man, I know you already did this. If when you lose the power and everything, you can't have your television, you can't have your radio, you can't have anything. Get one of them transistor radios with extra batteries. And have one in the car, one in the bag, and one somewhere in the house.
If anything you get for your home that you're going to run on battery, like you said, the little portable radio, flashlights, you stick to either AA or D battery items. Those are the two easiest batteries to find after a disaster are AA's and D's.
Really?
So, make sure you get, if you could, get a flashlight and a radio that both use D batteries. Get a little portable flashlight, those little mini mag lights. They use AA. Find a radio with AA's. That way you only have to have 1 or 2 types of batteries. And what you can do is you go, any place you can buy those big, giant, 50-count battery boxes. You get one in 50 count like a AA, go throw it in your freezer. or your refrigerator, if you throw it in your refrigerator, it'll double the shelf life of those batteries.
No kidding.
Oh, nice.
That's how, and especially in the hospitals, that's how we store like our little pen lights and our extra batteries.
Uh-huh.
Throw them in the refrigerator, doubles the life.
Holy Toledo!
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's cool. I know what I'm going to do when I go home.
If you're buying flashlights, go with the LED flashlights. Your standard flashlight, if it's been on for a while and that bulb gets warm and you smack it on a counter, you drop it, you can pop the bulb. In a disaster, if you didn't buy it ahead of time, where are you going to find a spare bulb? The LED bulbs, you can smack them, you can drop them, you can kick them. The LED bulbs are a whole lot more robust in how they survive, and they'll last double the time on a set of batteries.
And, talking about this, too, something that just crossed my mind. Mia, you're going to crack up on this one.
Okay.
Them little characters in the cartoons, and they had the hard hats with the light up on top of the hat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Like a coal miner's hat.
That's it. That's what. Yeah, we should grab some of those too, just because, huh?
Those little headlamps are ideal for a disaster. We, fire, EMS, public safety. We issue those all the time to our folks for night work. It's a great little item. You can go. I just looked at one of the larger retailers here in the valley. They've got them on sale. I think right now for like $7.
No way.
Comes with a Velcro strap, takes 2 AA batteries, and an LED. You'll get 200 to 300, 400 hours out of that little headlamp before you got to change batteries. And so you put it on, you go hands-free, use it when you need to. Something else to think about, you all have seen them, the little glow-in-the-dark light sticks, like the green and red ones. You crack them and you shake them. Those light sticks will last 5 years in their foil package. So go get yourself 10 or 15 of those. They got a little hook and a little tie knot on the end. Get some fishing line. You open two or three of those up at night. You hang them on your patio or wherever you're sleeping in your tent. Crack them open. You got some little basic area lighting. It can't start a fire. It doesn't have any chemical issues for you. It doesn't draw your batteries down. You don't have to recharge it. You just use it when you're done. You throw it away. But you have emergency lighting if you have to have it.
That is so cool. I didn't even think of that.
That's brilliant, actually.
And think about it in your supply, because one of my goals that I try to teach is you don't have to break the bank to be prepared. Now, with my background in the fire department, there are some extra things that I have, and other things just it's personal preference or because of some of the training I have. But for somebody who's just trying to build a basic kit, realistically, you can spend less than $100 and build a phenomenal home preparedness kit for a family of 4.
Oh, and tell them about
the first aid kit.
I was just going to say that, the Band-Aids.
We had one of our paramedics in the department came up with a quick idea of how to build a $3 first aid kit. For an earthquake or a disaster, mainly what you need is the ability to clean a wound, bandage it, and change the bandage down the road till you can get to higher level medical care. What you can do is take your number 10 Folgers or whoever coffee you prefer, that big giant red or brown number 10 plastic can, and go to a dollar store, buy a bed sheet for $1, buy a full size sheet, wash it, pull it out lengthways, and fold it in half. Then what you do is you go along it with a yardstick and you measure every 6 inches, you put a mark for 10 or 12. Then you go in every 4 inches, put a mark for a ways. Then you put everything at 2-inch marks. And then what you do is you go down and you cut down each of those marks down that fold. Then cut back up the middle of the sheet long ways. And now you've got 30 or 40 bandages.
Nice.
They're all 2.5, 3 feet long. You roll each one of them up. You stack them all together. They'll pack into that number 10 coffee can. And now for $2, you have a first aid kit you can throw in your trunk, throw in the house. Everybody carries. And 4 or 5 years down the road, if it's dirty, throw it away, spend $2 more. But now you've got all the bandaging material you need to take care of your family. Excuse me. And you didn't break the bank. This is anybody can go out and buy the $400 trauma kit or the big giant first aid kit for your home. Half the items in that kit most people will never need, or they don't have the training to use them. If you have the basic thing of bandaging, be able to clean a wound with basically just some water. I just blanked on the chemical that we hand out, the hydrogen peroxide. You just to wash a wound and do that. You're good to go. That will give you what you need to pack, because you can take a 3-foot piece of sheet. I can wrap a head wound. I can wrap an arm. I can wrap a main chest wound. I can tie an arm up to the body to stabilize a broken bone. Whatever that's all you need. It's very, very simple. Think about Okay, so you've got somebody, you need to keep them warm. You don't have a lot, especially for your vehicle kits. The little emergency $1 space blankets that you can get like at Walmart or Big Five or any of those. Buy 3 of those space blankets. They will fit anybody. You wrap yourself in a space blanket, you're good to go. You need to signal for help. The thing is a giant 6-foot mirror. Lay it out on your front lawn. Helicopters flying, they're going to see the giant reflective thing on your lawn. They're going to come look at it. It's a great signaling device. It's great heating source. It's great shelter source. Think about if you're going to buy the blankets, the flashlight, the little first aid kit. Go to some place like Harbor Freight, spend a couple of dollars, get a pair of gloves. You do not want to be having to clean debris or anything off your home, or if you're having to dig somebody out barehanded.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And especially something like you, Mia, where you're going up and down the pass. What happens if you have to stop in the winter and change a tire, or you had something else you had to deal with because they made the car slid off the road in the snow? You want those gloves because it also insulates your hands, gives you a little protection.
That's true.
So think about all those things. When you walk through and I'm just going to pick on Walmart for the moment, you walk through their sporting goods section, their home section, start looking at things and start thinking about what else can I use that for? That's one of the things. We have a great program in this county. It's a nationwide program, but I think we probably, being biased, we have one of the best in the state here in San Bernardino County. Your CERT, or your Community Emergency Response Teams, every community in our county teaches CERT, and it's a 20-hour class that anybody can take. There is no cost for the class, and basically we will teach you basic first aid. We'll teach you how to use a fire extinguisher. We'll teach you basic cribbing, which is how to pull somebody out from something that's fallen on them. We'll teach you basic disaster psychology, and it will prepare you and your family for a disaster. And it gives you those basic skill sets to survive. And I can't hammer on enough, if you're prepared ahead of time, you've taken a little bit of time to talk it through with your family and get ready, you will come through a disaster better because you're psychologically and physically prepared. And you're going to walk through a disaster and go, oh, wow, this wasn't as bad as it could have been.
There you go. And the other thing, too, real quick, we got Brett Malak on the line. And the other thing, too, and Mia, like you and I were saying last week, when you're doing your kit, don't worry about all the bling-bling and everything, your curling iron and your blow dryer. Forget about all of it. It's going to take up space, and how are you going to use it? There's no electricity. Think about it,
Well, and a quick thought on the electrical thing. Almost 80% of us, what do we all have in our driveway? We have a car.
You think?
You can buy almost anything now with a 12-volt plug on it that will go in your cigarette lighter. Okay, maybe you can't get your car to your driveway. You've got a half tank of gas. You run your car battery low, restart the car, charge it up, run on battery for a while, charge it again, run on battery, charge it again. You can get 4 or 5 days, 6 days off that car battery and a half a tank of gas by just doing that.
And if you're smart, you're going to listen to I and Zach and Mia. If you have a half a tank of gas, get it filled, because when this sucker hits, and believe me, one of these days it's going to hit, you ain't going to be getting any gas, boys and girls.
That's it.
It's gone. Okay? All right, now, you can stay?
I can stay.
Mia, can you stay?
Oh, of course.
Okay, hey, Brett, how you doing?
Hi there, Bev. I'm doing great.
Good. Real quick here, let's get talking about Super Bowl Sunday.
Go Broncos.
Yes. And who are you rooting for, Denver or Seattle?
Well, my pick is the Denver Broncos to win. I think Peyton Manning and the Denver offense is just going to be too much for the Seattle defense.
I like him.
I don't think Seattle's offense is going to be able to score enough points. They're going to have to score in strange ways. Fumble returns, interception returns, punt return, kickoff return. I just don't think Seattle's offense is good enough to match Denver.
And what's going to happen if they can't kick it? And, I got to agree with you, Brett. What's going to happen is they're going to start sending that stuff UPS or FedEx to get it across the board.
Well, and you're also going to have to –